right? When you're selling into your organization, you're selling to leadership, it takes resources to do anything new. And so they're really thinking about, okay, like what else should we be doing, or what is this distracting Casey and team from? How do you help them understand it, especially when you're not going to be able to show them like immediate numbers, as you pointed out with social, right? This is like a compounded effort. How do you think about navigating those kinds of objections?
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's a couple components of it. Number one is the more that you have realism from outside reference points. Like when I go to start a podcast, I went and talked to Kieran, who launches Marketing Against the Grain, and just asked him, like, what were your benchmarks? What did you guys look at? And he talked about the build phase during those first 6 months and then their monetization phase afterwards and what those numbers specifically look like. So as a brand that was, at that time, probably close to, in a similar stage where we're at, having those direct reference points of someone who's in industry, I think that is a starting point that builds a lot of confidence. The next thing is really just focusing on what are the specific goals of the organization and how do those align to the timelines of different growth plays. So for example, if someone says, I think that we really need to build long-term levers. We need to invest in things like SEO and things like community and things like podcasts because we want to create that growing curve over time that is going to be that like continuous pipeline. That's one equation that we're in. Another equation that we're in is like we need like sales now. Like the CRO has come in and they're like, we need this quarter. We need to go all out at everything we can. That's totally fine. I would then recommend different growth plays. Then maybe we look at influencer oriented plays, partner go-to-market plays. Like there's a bunch of things that we can do that are more short term. They might not have the longevity and they might not have the pipeline generation potential, but they're going to be able to say close, hey, 30 people close on this webinar and 10 people close on this event. And we can start to do things that have that specific focus. So really when it comes to opportunity cost, I think it's just having that candid conversation with management. Where are we in terms of our pipeline? Like, do we have a really full pipeline and we just need to spend a bunch of time converting? Awesome. Let's go spend time bottom of the funnel. Let's have the focus be there. Let's draft those emails that are going to activate that existing pipeline and let's just hammer there. But if that pipeline doesn't exist, if our problem is that we're not getting enough people through the door, then we're going to have to take a step back and say, hey, if we want to do this the right way, we want to build sustainable pipeline, we're going to have to do some stuff that has a longer time horizon. But I want you to have confidence in the leading indicator. So what I'm going to do is go to different people in the market who you know and respect. I'm going to try to have those conversations. And I'm going to try to come back to you with data so that we choose the right leading indicators that tell us when we should kind of double down or when we should pivot.
Gotcha.